I think like a really important thing I should have done was like do more research before just like starting like building everything. You might miss out on like key information about thing you're trying to fix, and that's gonna cost like a lot of time.
So you had to go through a lot of iterations and
Yeah.
trials and errors. Bold is a sponsor and participant in the National Innovation Challenge, and you were a winner. Would you kind of give us a little bit of a take on how you got into that NIC program and how does you end up winning?
So like my sister has like always been interested in like science, and she was the one that recommended me this like this challenge, and yeah, and we both participated in it. Yeah.
Love that. Love that. Big sister, younger sister,
Older sister.
older sister. Okay, that's great. Good. Did she participate as well?
Yeah.
Oh, and did you beat her?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, nicely done, Hal. Okay.
Very, very nice. And Hal, you must be in middle school. You look like you were what, seventh grade?
Yeah, seventh grade.
Nailed it. There you go. Tell us about what it is you've come up with.
So basically, I created like a low cost method for like early screening of like open angle glaucoma, which is like a disease that causes like damage in the optic nerve and like loss of like peripheral vision. So unlike traditional detection methods, like tonometry machines or like physical eye exams, my system uses like virtual reality, and specifically like the Google Cardboard and like a smartphone inside to test like the peripheral vision like at home. So this invention basically has three parts. The first part is like a VR-based grid test. Like it's a website that you can pull up on your phone, built using like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So the user basically wears this VR headset, and the person would see like a visual grid displayed across the field of vision, and then the user would point out which cells they can see.
You're doing good. Now, you put your phone in that cardboard box, right? And so that's how you're able to see images, right? There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. And let me back up a little bit more because so I don't understand glaucoma. So could you go back a couple of steps, help me understand? So it's a loss of periphery vision. Is that how
Yeah.
this type of glaucoma?
Yeah.
I don't even know that. I mean, I know I've heard of it, and it's something I don't know if you can prevent or not, but early detection sounds like it's a good thing. Is that right? Is it, if you just get it early, you can get it treated?
Yeah.
The idea?
You can't like fix it completely, but you can stop it from like blocking all your vision. Yeah.
Right. And one might not know that you're kind of losing periphery.
Yeah. Because it kind of spreads really slowly. So you wouldn't be able to tell if it's like heavily in your vision.
Hal's a nail in this glaucoma thing. So yeah, for those following along at home, right, glaucoma is a disease essentially where you have like damage to the optic nerve over time. Basically, the optic nerve is getting pressed on because you have excessive pressure buildup in like the globe of your eyes. And so folks take, they use drops basically to lower the internal pressure of the eye to help reduce the strain and pressure on the optic nerve. One of the things that Hal was talking about with his device is that in medical, I know this because I used to be in medical and my wife owns a couple optical practices, but when folks have glaucoma, they're typically tracked on a quarterly basis to see if their vision is degrading. And we use this really expensive machine called a visual fields machine, typically to help measure that. Really expensive, really big device, sits in the corner of a ring, takes up a lot of real estate. What Owl's talking about here is basically a novel implementation of a visual fields machine, which is fantastic. And I'm sure there's more to it than just the visual fields.
So like the collected data from the website can be processed to generate like a visual field map, as you said. And this map like resembles the same thing, like allowing like a machine learning model to detect like vision loss. So without like a doctor. And
Okay, I put the goggles on. I'm just step by step, okay, and I'm looking at maybe a vision field. How am I? Walk me through the test. Walk me through what happens.
so you would like put it on, and then there'd be a little like text on the screen, and it'd say, "Oh, can you see like this square?" And then you'd reply like yes or no, and then you'd collect all that into like a big list.
Cool. And you'll have to look around, or you can't move your head at all. It doesn't matter.
You look in the center. Like
Look in the center. Yeah. Oh, cheating. Okay. Wow. And so you came up with the software as well?
Yeah.
Goodness. Tell me about that. Are you new to software development? Have you done that before?
Like I've always been interested in like coding, so I've had some experience doing
Okay.
glaucoma.
That's super impressive, Howell.
Wow. Okay. I mean, did you just dream this up in the shower? I mean, while you're at school, how did you?
Does Brandon grandpa have glaucoma? What's the story, right?
Yeah, so one of my close relatives actually have glaucoma, and like it wasn't that severe, but like it just inspired me to like help people who have like a similar case, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Now, when you had to present this at the NIC, what kind of, did you get grilled with really tough questions? Was it scary? Tell me about the experience.
Yeah, I was definitely like really nervous, but the questions like as long as like you knew your project and like it's not that hard. Yeah.
The big question, of course, is does it work? Have you tested it on patients or maybe taken the next step to see if maybe it could be used in the clinic?
I haven't done that yet, but I use like data from like online from like those visual field, and I compared it with my data, and the results were like pretty similar. So
Pretty similar. Wow.
That's super cool, Howell. Like I think that, augmented reality and virtual reality, like that technology, it's gonna be in clinics really soon. Like my wife just purchased a couple, I guess, Meta headsets for her offices because they're actually using virtual reality now to help create custom lenses for people based on their own personal like needs and vision. So yeah, I think your product, like your idea, like that's, I mean, if it can be implemented into that technology, like that's a no-brainer for a lot of people. Very cool.
All right. So what's next for this? I know how you got a lot of other things, to make sure you keep your grades up in middle school and beyond, but are you going to pursue this in terms of taking it to market? Are you interested in securing intellectual property? Let's talk about that. Have you spoken about, patents or trademarks?
I've spoken to like one of the lawyers at the patent office, like yeah, and they said it was like possible, I guess, to pursue like a patent.
Okay.
I think I want to improve my like design first, maybe before first step. Yeah.
Well, that's good. Well, excellent. I mean, do you think this is, something that your parents would help with in terms of trying to get you, some resources to develop it? Or are you going to have to try to save your own money up and get a part-time job? Pretty young to do that.
My parents, like, I think, just support me in a lot of ways.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah. Fantastic. Well, it's a great opportunity to be on the receiving end of that, of winning the NIC. It's a big deal. And I guess way we can wrap up, if you could walk us through your sort of look back, if you're going to do this again, and I don't know how long it took you to get to the, the finals, but would you have done anything differently as you came up with it or as you developed it at all?
I think like a really important thing I should have done was like do more research before just like starting like building everything. You might miss out on like key information about thing you're trying to fix, and that's gonna cost like a lot of time.
So you had to go through a lot of iterations and trials and errors.
Yeah. The more you learned about glaucoma, the more you had to go back and change things. Cool. So I think, so I guess it sounds like, for you, like if you had done maybe some more research into glaucoma initially, it could have helped you with developing the actual solution for the test. That's a really great insight.
Absolutely.
Golden nugget there, JB.
Absolutely. Conduct some research and know the problem you're solving before just kind of developing a device. Well, I think you're on the right track. I think, while I'm not going to give, I don't want to give too much advice. One thing I do want to point out is that when you do publish or share an invention, a 1-year timer does start. And so it's a very important piece. And for anybody out there listening, is that there's a grace period of just 1 calendar year from if you publish or share or disclose your invention, you must file a patent application. If you don't, it's unfortunately, going to get invalidated. Okay. Unfortunately, there's a time bar. The reason for that is policy based, and the U.S. government doesn't want you to kind of keep your secrets and, to yourself. We want to all benefit from your knowledge, Hal, and all inventors out there. And so if you want to proceed with, perhaps achieving exclusivity for up to 20 years in the US patent law system, those are the rules. So I wouldn't delay too long. Speak with your parents or anyone else that might be helping you, an adult, to work with either on your own or with counsel. I do recommend working with an attorney to at least get what's called a provisional patent application filed. So you'll be pending and have the chance to develop it a bit more, as you said, work on the design and get it to a point where you're ready to say, hey, this is it. I could take this to, a physician, an optometrist, an ophthalmologist, whatever you might need to see. Sound good?
Yeah.
Yeah, super cool, Hal. And like, I was just thinking more about this too. Maybe like, I don't know what your use case for this is, but this would be something for like, grandma and grandpa, like to use it, to check in instead of like maybe going to the clinic every 3 months. You could do this at home. I really like that a lot. Congratulations on your success. Like, it's a really cool idea. And yeah, I think it bodes well for the rest of your middle school career.
Yeah.